prosecutor, Madam Prosecutor, is called Web.
Yes. So it is a web, a very complex web of men actually doing the most atrocious things to other men. We have just presented evidence today in court. We presented a van that actually is literally brought to the scene of the crime by another man in order for a man to be taken advantage of, to be dragged and then taken advantage of. We've actually presented that in court today, Your Honor. And it's really terrible that we are living in a country where, you know, these men are the ones on the pulpit preaching God's word, you know, and then within the same churches, they are taking advantage of young boys and men. And then they're being covered by other men, you know. So it is so complex. We have so many men who have become victims of this particular fella. His name is Prht. He calls himself a prophet. We did occupy his church, one of his churches on Sunday. We made national news. And then, so we are occupying yet another church this coming Sunday. But the main thing, the reason we needed you was we needed representation in court. We do have all of the evidence, and we wanted that by the time we are going to arrest him, you have actually gone through everything that we've got. You have spoken to the victims that we have, and then so that the arrest becomes successful and airtight. Senior Counsel, I do know that we already got what you call media coverage. It happened by surprise. We were quite surprised when all the media houses were broadcasting our stomp into Prht's church on Sunday. However, we don't believe that we need more publicity for this case. So when I land tomorrow in Nairobi, I do believe we can talk about other means of giving this case the publicity that it requires. So otherwise, you can take the mic and advise us on the way forward. Our victims are here. Some of them, in fact, one of the victims, let me tell you, today he has been bleeding so much because he had to have surgery, corrective surgery, you know, on his I will use the right word, I don't have another word, anus. So that entire area had to be repaired because this man really mutilated another man. It was terrible, totally grotesque. So yesterday he did a lot of moving around. He was at the DCI headquarters, taking this there, taking that. He was literally gathering everything that he required, you know, for when the case begins. So today, he has told me he's not eaten for 3 days because these men now cannot even work. They have no means of getting food. And that's why when I came to this live, the first thing I told our people, please remember the victims. You know, remember the victims because they do not have money for food because they can no longer work. You know, they've become so immobilized that they cannot do anything. But this man, today, he's been bleeding, Senior Counsel Ndegwa. He's been bleeding severely. And it's very sad what these men are going through. Take the mic. Guys, let us occupy in the comments. Let's occupy. Let's occupy. We must find justice for this man. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Prosecutor, and my lords, in appearing in these proceedings. It's quite unfortunate that such kind of a thing would be happening in Kenya during our lifetime. But all this is happening again because of the issue I raised, the blatant breakdown of the rule of law and the withering down of our penal justice institutions. It's my hope and belief that these individuals have recorded their complaint with the relevant institutions, in this case being the DCI.
Yes,
so that
they
therefore,
have. They have.
The DCI therefore can commence the requisite investigations with an idea. If they reveal the existence of a crime, then subsequent actions of having this person charged can ensue. Remember, a criminal proceeding must be backed or must be grounded on credible investigations. So those individuals who have unfortunately been defiled, it is important that they first of all record their statements. Number two, we are saying that we want to be a country that cherishes the rule of law, a country that is guided by the Constitution, a country and a people who abides by the Constitution. It is on that basis, my lords and Madam Prosecutor, that I submit that our Constitution presumes our innocence until we are proven guilty. It is on that basis that we need to engage the requisite penal justice systems so that this culprit can be brought to books and he be granted an opportunity to also defend himself before the court of law. It would be much of help to the victims if we would facilitate and assist them to access the DCI office with an objective of recording their complaint, subsequent to which the office of the ODPP take over and have this individual charged. It's upon the DPP charging these individuals that therefore we can appear and represent the victims' views in the proceedings through a process called watching brief for the victims, where if the DPP succeeds in nailing down this culprit through tendering the requisite necessary evidence, then at the fullness of time, then the victims can seek for monetary compensation under what we call the Victim Protection Act. Our law allows the compensation or the restitution of a victim of a crime. Previously, a victim of crime would never be compensated, or he would never be reinstated to the status he would have been if he never suffered that, or another, if he was never a victim of that act. But fortunately, with the enactment of the new constitution, a victim can seek for compensation in a criminal case. So to be fair to the victims and to be fair to the suspect, we must allow the penal justice system to take its course. The noise that we are making is quite relevant, quite important, because it is calling those institutions to order. We must continue making this noise with a view or with an idea that it's only a court of law that will help us resolve that legal impasse. So, Madam Prosecutor, my lords, it's my humble submissions that we assist these individuals to record their complaint with the police. Then we follow up to see whether the file has been forwarded to the DPP for its recommendation and whether the DPP has recommended the charging of these individuals. But perhaps mention that under Article 157 of our Constitution that creates the office of the ODPP, having taken cognizance of a public interest matter such as this one, is mandated by the Constitution to instruct the IG to carry out investigations. I have not seen it. I have not heard from the DPP. I have not seen the ODPP writing to the IG to ask him to commence investigations. Since this is a matter of serious and grievous public interest. The other alternative is to write the ODPP and Article 157 asking him to authorize the Inspector General to carry out and expedite the investigations in respect to this case. I think that's all I need to say in respect to that particular issue, Madam Prosecutor, my lords, and I beg to rest.
Much, Wakili Ndegwa. Now, here in TICC, we have a panel of senior counsels, and I will start with Peter Kioi to at least ask 2 or 1 question. Go ahead, Senior Counsel Peter Kioi.
Let's go.
And if you may allow me, perhaps.
Thank you. Wakili, welcome to TikTok. Welcome to the TikTok High Court. Welcome. That was a big welcome from one of us. We are so grateful. We are so grateful to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
To be able to move on, I'll share my number if someone drops me a message with so that you can contact me perhaps tomorrow in the afternoon, and we come up with a strategy on how to go about that particular issue so that we can bring the matter to rest and make sure that those individuals are brought to books. We must not allow our country to go to the dogs. If you're not able to fix this small vice, how shall we fix the big ones? Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies, my lords. Thank you, members of the jury. If you allow me, perhaps I would beg to retire. I have a busy day tomorrow at Kibera Law Courts.
Wakili, the Lion Kings have just arrived. That was the equivalent of a lion. We just ask that you mute for a bit more. Maybe they still want to bless you because you're a good man. Thank you so much. Comment section are insisting that you wait for the lion. The space shuttle was to take you all the way to space because you're a good man, and the lion will be for you to keep. Hopefully it will come. I shared with all our Lion Kings. That is one of them that I shared with, and it seems they are only just arriving. Thank you, Wakili. Members of the public, chukweni mic wadau.
Before the juries and members, the senior counsels, I want to thank you, Mr. Wakili Ndegwa Njiru, for doing that noble thing, for offering your services for free of charge. And again, Lady Jacqueline, Madam Prosecutor, who is Lady Jacqueline, the Madam Prosecutor, she's going to meet you maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Thank you.
Yes, I will. And it will be a big procession of people. All this.
Thank you. I'll be waiting.
Ralph, can I say something?
Proper title, I'm Judge Ralph Zidadi.
Judge Ralph Zidadi, can I say something, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you, Bwana Wakili, for the gesture. And this has absolutely brought joy to my heart because I'm sure the victims now feel protected and they feel that there are people who are backing them up. I'd also like to thank this court for also bringing this matter to attention, because if they had not pushed it as far as they did, then obviously the public would not have known what is going on. It is quite unfortunate that those who our young people look up to for advice are also abusing them and taking advantage of them by deceiving them and abusing sexually, or rather using them sexually. The victims must be protected at all costs. And I thank you very much for agreeing to do this for us, for the public, for free. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Thank you, Esther. God bless you. I've been reminded that I should inform Wakili Ndegwa that those gifts coming to him are actually equivalent of money. So they're the actual money in your pocket, Wakili. So if there is a special app that was ever designed, it is TikTok. It has some of the biggest asante ever made. So feel at home, relax. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Prosecutor and my lordships, if you allow me to represent the jury to say a proper law language to this one Wakili for accepting our invitation, may I proceed, Your Honor, my lord?
Yes, please go on, Senior Counsel to Watchdog.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the jury, this court is profoundly honored by the distinguished presence of senior lawyer Ndegwa Njiru, whose towering legal acumen and forensic prowess illuminates solemn proceedings. His gracious acceptance of our invitation is a testament to those village courts, to his unwavering fidelity to the noble calling of justice. In lending his learned hand to this cause before us, he fortifies and citadel our jurisprudence and exemplifies the highest ideas of legal fraternity. I know village people from the other courts do not understand. His gracious advocacy and audit submission shall no doubt serve as a ladder in our inexorable pursuit of truth, equality, and vindication of the rule of law. I thank you so much, Your Honor, for accepting our invitation. Thank you. That is on behalf of the jury.
Much as senior counsel to the watchdog for that illuminating and a very eloquent law language. Thank you very much. Now we go back to the prosecutor. Take over.
Yes, Your Honor, I do believe Engineer Dees has not spoken at all before we close, or before we come to some form of conclusion. Engineer Dees.
Madam Prosecutor, my lords, kindly allow me to leave. I'll be glad to join you tomorrow once again and to be able to brief the court on the progress of the court. I beg to rest my case.
Thank you very much, Wakiri Ndegwa. Good night and have a wonderful night. We appreciate you. We appreciate the good work that you've done, the noble thing that you just started. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wakiri Ndegwa, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And yeah, you've really surprised us. We are so grateful. We are so humbled. May God bless you. May God bless you. And good night. Good night.
And please make sure that I am contacted tomorrow so that we can begin this process.
Yes, we will. We will contact you. Yes.
You can drop me a message. If you call me and you find that I'm not picking, just drop me a message. I'll get back.
No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you. And God bless you.
God bless.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Chukweni mic.